shocking analysis on New Jersey's pension crisis was just done by the New Jersey 101.5 FM's news team, and they uncovered that the liabilities right now for the 340,000 retired state workers totals $11 billion in pension payouts a year. That is almost double what is collected on those same pensions. I want to bring in the news director for New Jersey 101.5, Eric Scott. Eric, welcome to Chasing News.
Hi, Bill. Thanks.
All right, Eric, where's the rest of the money coming from?
Well, where do you think it's going to come from? It's going to come from the taxpayers. It's going to have to come out of the general fund, or it's going to get kicked down the road. And one of the reasons we have a $60 billion unfunded liability collectively now as a state is because we have been underfunding the pension system for better than 2 decades. So that money has to be made up somewhere. The question is, where's it going to come from?
Now, is Governor Murphy, has he talked about this in his budget? How is he going to fix it? And does he expect to see opposition from Senator Steve Sweeney, who has said, look, we can't afford what we've got on the table right now?
Yeah, what Murphy basically has said is, look, we can't even have a conversation about additional pension and health benefit reforms until we are fully funding as a state our pension obligation. He doesn't expect that to happen for 4 years. Senator Sweeney has come right out again this week and said, no, we can't wait that long. The liability is growing day by day. We need to look at finding alternative solutions now.
All right. Thank you, Eric. Thanks for joining me.
Bill.
Great job on that analysis.
Thanks.
All right. Let's bring in the A+ panel for tonight's show. Immigration attorney Afia Yunus back with us. Good to see you, Afia.
You too.
Matt Rooney, lawyer and publisher of the Save Jersey blog. Always good to see you, Matt. And Peter Brown knows a thing or two about local budgets and pensions for government workers. Peter Brown is Democratic councilman in Linden. Afia, I'm going to start with you. You got a state senator earning $190,000 in a pension. He's a mayor. He's a senator. He's got where does this end? How is that justifiable when you've got teachers who are earning $30,000 and $40,000 a year who may not see the pension, given we have $60 billion in unfunded liabilities?
Yeah, it's clear that we have a lot to say about this, and there's clearly a big problem, and nobody wants to come up with solutions. And quite honestly, that's why we hired or elected these politicians, is to come up with these solutions. And Sweeney said we need alternative solutions. Well, where are those solutions?
Matt, is that a fair criticism of Steve Sweeney? I mean, he went toe-to-toe with Christie in 2011. They gave us this, what I have called the fake reform, because it didn't solve the problem at all. You know, he's now talking about not wanting to raise taxes. We can't handle that. Where are the actual concrete solutions?
Well, right. Look, I mean, on the self-help scale, Steve Sweeney's at least at acceptance now. Phil Murphy's not even there, right? But we're still a long way off, because Steve Sweeney is correct that we continue to have new people come into the system. We continue to underpay the system. For Governor Murphy to suggest that we first need to wait until we're fully funding the system before we control costs, that's completely rear end backwards, Bill.
Peter, you agree with that? I mean, you're talking about a $35 billion state budget. At this rate, the pensions and benefits for retiring workers is going to total somewhere about a quarter of the entire state budget.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Steve Sweeney had years to come up with a solution. To put this on the governor now, I think is unfair. I think everyone needs to get in a room and fix this, because there's a direct correlation between pension and property taxes. Because guess what? Payments are being directly sent to Trenton to fund this pension. And it's unfair to workers who are working if they have a pension system that's broken. So this needs to be resolved quickly.
How do the politicians fix it when they keep getting reelected by the same margins?
There's not a way to fix it, and this is why, if our listeners haven't heard of the Janus decision yet, which hopefully the Supreme Court's going to rule on soon, they got to check it out, because until we break the power of these public sector unions, there's too much incentive for these politicians to treat our money like it's play money.
Afia, is that the big problem? You've got the special interests, they've got a lock on it, and a diminishing number of people voting.
That common theme that we've had is we need to somehow light a fire under the 70% of people who don't vote, who don't have a voice and don't care to have a voice.
All right, got to leave it there, guys. Thank you.